Alexander Sarigiani. It is 1:55 p.m. December 10th. As I said after I got out of the shower, and then I tried to tell my dad downstairs, why don't you look at these people claiming they were going to do research and experiments? See if any of them read about experimental design and see if any of them read about how to do research. Typically, if you're going to go start a research job or do experiments, you're going to read about research, you're going to read about experimental design, you're going to refresh. Even if you were a doctor, even if you were a biology major, you'd still read about this to refresh if your intentions were to do research. So whenever this research or experiments or whatever started, see if they were reading about experimental design and research. And if they weren't, that may reveal their intentions that they're really just trying to get a hold of this technology for betting manipulation, etc. Then also these investigators who are claiming to be investigators, if they're investigating people claiming to do research or experiments, you would think investigators would read about this to see if these guys were really doing research, to see if they're really doing experiments or they're just using this tech to manipulate bets and use it for robbery. So see if any of these guys who are investigators read about this stuff so they could call these people out in order to analyze what they claimed they were doing. If they were claiming they were doing research and experiments, if I was an investigator, I'd read about this, familiarize myself with it, and then see if these guys were really doing research or experiments. And then you'd find out they didn't even know what experimental design was. They didn't even know what a confounder was. They didn't even know how to do experiments. They didn't even know how to design an experiment in a fashion to accommodate or eliminate confounders. And then that would have been a red flag for an investigator. So check that out. And I said this like 5-10 minutes ago, right after I got out of the shower. And then someone even like may have bothered my dad via telepathy to tell him to like interrupt me when I was trying to tell him about this analysis, which is just weird.